All right, everyone, welcome back. Please let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. It's early morning here in Germany, so I'm not going to be talking. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm not going to be talking very loud. Let me guys know if you guys can hear me in the chat. All right, Bruno says he can hear me. Kevin also. Like I said, guys, I just woke up actually, so pulling in the early hours this morning. Welcome to the chat, everyone. What's up, Kevin, man? Thanks for coming. Juliet, thank you for stopping by as well. So yeah, last night I was going to go live last night here in Germany, and my internet was not working. And then, I just decided, okay, well, I'll just wake up early in the morning and jump on with you guys. And, in this video, it's going to be, my research is not as extensive as it usually is, but I'm hoping that there's going to be people that add stuff to this. And we're going to kind of investigate this rising of Sirius together. And we're also going to explore Venus. And, we're going to explore some of the stories that have been coming out, including this German story from where I'm at about a lioness that was supposedly on the loose in Germany, Berlin. And I believe this ties to Venus and this Lionsgate. So let me first get into why. Let me find this tab here. Let's see. Seems like I got to find this tab that I had up. Well, let me open up a new tab and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's see. Galactic. They call this the Galactic New Year. And again, guys, I didn't know anything about this until just a few days ago. So this is new to me. X Trubel, it's interesting that you bring up Bart to the Future, the Simpsons episode where, Lisa Simpson is dressed like Kamala Harris and it looks like she's taking over as president. I have a few finds that I want to share on that, but maybe I will do that in a different video, but maybe I'll also do that here. No, I mean, that's a good share because I do have some very interesting things to share here about possibly that date or about this upcoming time frame. Okay, but anyway, let's read into this here. This article I found is explaining basically this time of year, which is from July 26th, which is tomorrow, until the 8/8, which is they call the Lionsgate portal. So let me read through this a bit. The date was honored by the ancient Mayans and ancient Egyptians at the moment when the planet Earth begins a new cycle in her ongoing evolution. In Egypt, this time was known as the heliacal rising of Sirius, a time when annually, with exact precision, the Nile River flooded each year. For the ancient Egyptians, this time was marked by an annual event called the heliacal rising of Sirius. I probably keep saying that wrong, but to this day, this is still marked in the Egyptian calendar. This is the time when Sirius rises in the morning sky right next to the sun. And as you guys can see, if I bring up this picture again, it's not only Sirius that's rising in the dawn, the morning star, but it's also Venus. You guys can see Venus over here and Sirius also sharing the night sky. And we're going to get into this Sirius and Venus connection because I find it very interesting. Because again, guys, Venus is the goddess, right? It's the feminine. And Sirius, I guess you could say, is is probably more of the masculine. Of course, I'm not sure on that, but I would say more of masculine energy, but I'm sure there's a mixture of both here. So, anyways, this is marked by, in the Egyptian calendar, it was marked by the flooding of the Nile, right? And it's interesting because, you have, a lot of flooding. I think there was flooding going on somewhere. I can't remember where, but anyways, the heliacal rising of Sirius. To this day, the Egyptians' calendar. This is the time when Sirius rises in the morning sky. And in addition, Sirius was known as the sacred teacher star. And when its powerful light codes align with the sun, they were transmitted to Earth through annual Lionsgate portal. So they call this the Lionsgate portal. And to me, it was interesting because I'd never heard it called this, but it makes sense because, again, guys, right now in the zodiac calendar, we're in the sign of Leo, which is obviously Leo the lion, right? The sun. And you have the sun, the dog star, and you have Venus all on the horizon in the morning. So let's see. And then it goes on to talk about how all these different cultures, including the Native Americans, the Indians, the Chinese, the Acadians, they all held this time of the year as the time of this rising of Sirius. But let's get to the meat of this thing here. So here in the purple, you're going to see that it says, at a cosmic level, the Lionsgate portal begins on July 26th and reaches its climax on August 8th. And I told you guys that this date is very interesting, this August 8th, based off of my research. If you guys remember back in my decode about the number 23 movie with Jim Carrey, I showed you guys how this date, 8/8, aligns perfectly with his movie and his birthday, in that it's 23 weeks before his next birthday and 203 days after his last birthday. And remember, he was the guy who played in the number 23 movie. And let's go look at this date. So what's important to know about this date, guys, is that it has 23 date numerology, and we're in the year 2023. And I told you that it's 53 days. Okay, it's 203 days after Jim Carrey's birthday, and Jim Carrey played in the movie 23. And it's 23 weeks before his next birthday. So the 23 date numerology is very interesting. Also, if we go over to the calculator and we type in Tuesday, which is this day, 8/8 is a Tuesday, okay, you're going to see that it equals 23. So this coming 8/8 is not only 23 date numerology right here, okay, it's also a Tuesday, which equals 23. And why is 23 and 95 important? Because 95 is Sirius, okay? We're talking about the Sirius. Let me type in Sirius. It equals 95 and 32, which is the reverse of 23. So this 95, like Tuesday, okay? Also, what's interesting is that it has 59 date numerology, which is the reverse of the 95, like Sirius. And if you guys watched my decode about the number 23 movie, the two numbers that kept coming up in that decode was the number 59 and the number 23. And this date happens to have both the 59 and the 23 date numerology. And this is, of course, it's the 8/8, guys. Again, I think there's more here to explore. There's a lot to explore in this. Now, I want to do a bit of an investigation into Kamala Harris because I've been talking a lot about Kamala Harris and her possibly rising and ascending to the presidency. And so what we have to know first is Kamala Harris is a Libra, which means she's ruled by Venus. And again, I told you guys that in the morning sky, it's Venus that rises also by Sirius, right? So the two stars, well, this is actually a planet, but they look like stars, right? So Venus and Sirius. So let's look into Venus, because again, Kamala Harris is a Venus. She's ruled by Venus because she's born on October 20th, which is Libra. And an Earth day or a Venus day has 243 days on Earth. So the Venus day is a very long day, apparently. And a Venus year, as you guys can see down here, is 225 days. So on Venus, a day is longer than a year, which is very interesting, right? On Venus, a day is longer than a year. So let's calculate. Let's see how old Kamala Harris will be on this Lionsgate portal on 8/8. Okay. So first we're going to take number of days old she is on 8/8, and we're going to divide it by 225. And that's going to give us how many Venus years old she is. So if we go over to the calculator, we're going to see that Kamala Harris is going to be 21476 days old on 8/8 Lionsgate. Okay. And notice that they were both born on a Tuesday. Kamala Harris was born on a Tuesday, which equals 95, like Sirius. And this 8/8 is also Tuesday, which also equals 95. And it has 59 date numerology, which is the reverse of the 95. So anyways, let's take the amount of days old she is on 8/8 and divide it by 225, because that is the amount of days in a year on Venus. So if we go over to the calculator and we take the amount of days that Kamala Harris is old on 8/8 and you divide it by 225, which is the amount of days for a year on Venus, look at what you get. You get 95. 95 Venus years old, Kamala. And not only that, but it's 95.4488888888. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the 8/8 Lionsgate. And it's the 95, like Sirius. And it's on a Tuesday, like Tuesday equals 95, like Sirius equals 95. All right. So again, let me show you. Tuesday, 95, 8/8 is a Tuesday, Sirius, 95. So she's 95 Venus years old on this date, which equals 95. It's Tuesday. And this is the Lionsgate portal of Sirius. And again, I told you that these two stars are the two rising morning stars on the east horizon in the morning during this time period. And don't forget, guys, Venus is currently in retrograde. So this is basically when Venus looks like it's going backwards in the night sky. And it just happens that this year, Venus retrograde is falling around the same time that this Lionsgate portal is opening up. Venus begins her retrograde in the sign of Leo on July 22nd. And it ends on September 3rd. Okay. So what an interesting time period this is for Kamala Harris. And again, remember I showed you guys that a Venus day is 243 days. And this number is very interesting. So let's divide Kamala Harris's amount of days by, let's see how many days old how many Venus days old she is. I already showed you how many Venus years old she is, because I divided her amount of days by amount of years, amount of days in a Venus year. So let's do 24176 divided by 243, because 243 is the number of days in of Earth days in a Venus day. Okay, so what do we get? We get 8/8. So she's 95 Venus years old, and she's 88 Venus days old. Once again, going back to the 88, okay, and the 95 or the 59, like Sirius. And what have they been telling us in the news lately about lions and goddesses? Well, again, guys, let me go back to this German story that happened like 3 days ago, where this lioness, or they said it was a lioness, right? What a weird story. So apparently they closed down all of Berlin and said everyone should go inside because apparently there was a lioness free. Somebody said they saw a lion, but not just a lion, guys, a lioness, a female. Okay. But then after like a day of searching for this lioness, they come to realize, or they said it was a wild boar. See, it says lioness near Berlin, likely a wild boar. So, I mean, what a story, guys. I mean, my girlfriend told me that this story was all over the German news. But why are they talking about a lioness? Why not a lion? Well, it's because it's the feminine energy with Venus going retrograde, as I showed you here. With Venus going retrograde just a few days after this lioness was spotted, or around the very same time, and then also this whole feminine energy thing that they've been bringing on, and this Venus, Venus is the goddess, okay? So let me jump in the chat here. Let's see what's going on, everyone. Looks like we got 29 of you in the chat. Thank you guys for coming by. Yeah, and X Trouble says, Venus rides a lion, right? And this is all about the Hindu god. Remember, Kamala is Indian, which is based off the Hindu religion. And in this religion, there is a goddess. And remember, Kamala Harris's middle name is Devi, which means goddess. And in this religion, in her origin religion, wherever you want to call it, in India, Hindu, the goddess Durga rides a lion, as you guys can see here. So again, guys, we're in the sign of Leo. It's Leo the lion, and now you have this lioness on the loose, which just points me to this goddess thing, So anyway, I mean, I thought that was super interesting, especially with this lion connection. And let's not leave out the fact that WWE is holding their event SummerSlam here on 8/5 coming up a few days before the 8/8 Lionsgate. It says here they're holding on August 6th, but in the United States it's on August 5th. In Germany it's going to be on August 6th. But just notice that it's in Detroit, Michigan. Now, why is Detroit, Michigan important here, guys? Well, because Detroit is the NFL team that has the Lions. And what are we talking about, guys? We're talking about Lions, the Lionsgate. And Detroit just happens to be the one NFL team that has a connection to the Lions. And WWE just happens to be holding their event right around this Lionsgate portal in the Lions' home stadium, or the Lions' home city. And not only that, guys, but what is the first NFL game this year? What are the Chiefs, the defending champions of the Super Bowl last year? Their first game this year is against the Lions. Let me pull it up here. So the first game of the season in the NFL is on 9/8, which is when the Queen died last year, okay? And it's the Kansas City Chiefs, kind of like the commander-in-chief, right? The president, commander-in-chief, versus the Lions. And again, I just showed you the connection between Kamala and the lion, and now you have this lioness that was loose in Berlin. And of course, the very first game of the NFL season is the Commander-in-Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, versus the Lions. So again, we're going to have a lot of lion symbolism. Now, let me also show you this, guys. What does lion equal? Notice I was talking to you about 8-8 Lionsgate, right? Well, what does lion equal? It equals 23. What is the date numerology of the Lionsgate portal, where it's the highest on 8-8? It's 23. So lion equals 23. The date numerology is 23. And Tuesday, the day that it's on, Tuesday equals 23. So what a perfect time to be talking about a lion. Because again, lion equals 23. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens between now, because again, guys, as I showed before, Venus is retrograde until September 3rd. Okay. And this is connected to also this Lionsgate portal because it's happening around the same time. So anyways, just remember, guys, the Indian goddess Devi or Durga, just like Kamala Harris's middle name means goddess. And don't forget, her first name means lotus. And remember the lotus flower in the movie, or in the iPet goat, right? So anyways, let's jump into this number 243, and let's talk a little about Elvis, because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about here, right? I told you guys that this is known as the heliacal rising of Sirius, which just happens to equal 243, okay? Like Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., his full name, and like Central Intelligence Agency. This number is huge. 243, Central Intelligence Agency, Joseph Robinette Biden, and the heliacal rising of Sirius, 243. Now, I just showed you that a day on Venus is 243 days. So I'm connecting Venus and Sirius, and then you have this connection because Venus's amount of days, Earth days, to make one Venus day is 243 days. And of course, this number 243 is hugely connected to this because 243 is the heliacal rising of Sirius, which is what it's known as, called, right? I'll just go back to the article so you guys can see that they call it the heliacal rising of Sirius. So the 243 here, very important. And now, why is this important to Elvis Presley? Because, well, first of all, Elvis Presley, his full name equals 243. And how old is Elvis going to be this year if he was still alive? Okay, so if we measure from the day Elvis was born, let me go back to the day he was born. He was born on 1/8/1935. So you're going to notice that Elvis Presley on 8/8 will be 88 years and 212 days old. Okay, and this is on the date 8/8. So Elvis will be 88 this year on 8/8. And remember, he has the 243 in his full name, like the heliacal rising of Sirius. And Sirius is the dog star, and Elvis's famous song is called Hound Dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you know. And dog star, right? The Sirius is the dog star. Okay, so 243, and Elvis will be 88 on 8/8. And not only will he be 88, he'll be 88 and 212 days old. And just so you guys know, in gematria, Kamala Harris equals 212. Just like Elvis will be 88 years and 212 days old on 8/8. Now, another thing to know here is that Elvis, not only will he be 88, it will also be 8 days before his death date, because he was born in 1935, but he died in 1977. He died on 8/16. He died on 8/16/1977, which means that this coming 8/8 will be 8 days before his death date, and he will be 88 on 8/8. And remember, last year Trump had his Mar-a-Lago raided on 8/8, right? And obviously Trump is tied to this too. Why? Because this day is the 220th day of the year, and Trump, his full name, equals 220, and 8/8 is the 220th day of the year. So Trump and Elvis, and if you guys have watched Jurassic Liar's channel, who's also a YouTuber about decoding and stuff, he talks a lot about this connection between Elvis and Trump. So anyways, I just needed to mention Trump for sure because, and I just wanted to point out once again, guys, that Kamala Harris was born on a Tuesday, which equals 23, and she was born on 23 date numerology, just like 8/8 is a Tuesday and it has 23 date numerology. Okay. So let me jump into the chat. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Sonia, welcome to the chat. Thanks for coming by. Alice, nice to see you as well. Thanks for coming. Dot Tester, also thanks for coming as well. JP says, let's see. JP says Lionel Messi making top sports news is ironic with the lion. Yeah, you're right. Lionel, like Lion L. Kind of like the word Elvis, mixed with lion, right? Lion. You know, that's something to look into also. The name Lionel is the mix of the word L, like God, and also the lion, right? And Jesus, right, is known as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So again, this connection between, and this is obviously tied to the Christ character because, you know, Jesus was known as the Lion of the tribe of Judah, and, you know, he's also rising, right? And this is all about the rising. And remember, another way that people usually say the morning star is Lucifer, and in Gematria, Lucifer equals 74, right? And Jesus equals 74. So again, this connection here with this rising, and I just, you know, let me once again pull up this thing here. Venus and Sirius rising with the sun, right? So I think this maybe has to do something with the Trinity or something. You know, you have the sun, you have Venus, and you have Sirius all rising on the eastern horizon around this time period. And this, again, like I showed you in this article, guys, this day was at a cosmic level. The Lionsgate portal begins on the 26th and reaches its climate on 8/8. This is powerful time of the two suns, one golden white, the sun of Earth, and one electric blue, Sirius. So I thought that was very interesting. And then you have Venus also. In this article, it doesn't mention Venus, but you have to take into consideration Venus as well. Okay. But also, you know, Venus, like I said, in this picture, you can see they show Venus and Sirius right alongside each other. So anyway, let's go back to Elvis, because Elvis, like I said, he'll be 88 years old, or he'd be, if he was still alive, he'd be 88 years old on 8/8 Lionsgate. And the place that Elvis died is Memphis, Tennessee. Now, Memphis is an ancient Egyptian city. And it's just interesting that Memphis, Tennessee matches Elvis Aaron Presley with the 243, kind of like the heliacal rising of Sirius equals 243. All right. And again, I told you guys about the Venus days. There's 243 Earth days and one Venus day, 243 again. So again, this Memphis thing, going back to Egypt, And in this article I just read you guys, it was all about Egypt. And Memphis is the city in ancient Egypt. Anyways, I you got all this lion symbolism. You got the lioness that was loose in Berlin. You have the heliacal rising of Sirius. You have Venus in retrograde. And of course, guys, you have this movie called Barbie. And this is all about the goddess. Let me see if I can get this to load. It's being a bit slow. Okay, so let's look into this movie, because this movie came out just a few days before Venus, the goddess, went into retrograde. And you're going to notice that there's a character in the movie. Sorry, guys, my thing's being very slow. Hold on. So this girl who plays President Barbie, her name is Joissa Ray. And I posted this in my community section if you guys read this, but just notice that she drew inspiration from Kamala Harris. Okay. And of course she plays president. And Joissa, the girl who plays the President Barbie, let me just show you the gematria, guys. I'm going to duplicate this page so I can bring up a new page. Okay, so I just told you that the girl who plays President Barbie, right, in this movie, her name is Joissa, right? Joissa, like Joe Biden. And just so you guys know, the word Isa in Islam means Jesus or something like that, or Messiah or something. I have to relook that up. But anyway, Joissa equals 73 and 89. Kind of like Kamala Harris equals 73 and 89. And again, I just showed you in this article that Joissa drew inspiration from Kamala Harris. So if you take Joissa, her first name, and you take Kamala Harris's last name, Harris, look at the match you get, guys. 73, 89, and 44. And why is this important, guys? Because the Barbie movie is all about Venus, the goddess. And what does the goddess equal? 73. Do you see this? Goddess, 73. Harris, 73. Joissa, 73. Now, the word perfect also equals 73. And this is important because perfection is what Mother Mary was said to be the perfect vessel for the perfect child, right? The feminine energy, right? And this Mother Mary thing that they symbolize is all about the goddess, the Venus, in my opinion. It may not specifically represent Venus, but the feminine energy is tied to this Venus connection, and it was, of course, the feminine symbol that brings the Christ into the world, right? So, again, the word perfect is all about perfection, and that also equals 73. So all this 73 stuff, and why is this 73 important, guys? Well, 73 is the 21st prime, and 21 is Saturn. We're currently in the 21st anniversary of 9/11. This 21 number is huge. It also connects to the 201, which the Jesuits love the 201, which is 21. So anyway, all these 73s keep coming up, and this movie was just completely obvious, guys. I mean, oh, I forgot. The movie that she's playing in is Barbie, right? And Barbie just happens to have the 37 like Harris, and 37 is the reverse of the 73. But just notice that Barbie and Goddess are almost a direct match. Now, look at this 125, guys. This is the number I talk about a lot with Joe Biden, right? Why? Because Joe Biden, Joseph R. Biden, equals 125. Okay, and Barbie equals 125. Now, the name of the character, the actress who plays Barbie in the movie is Margot Robbie, if I spell it right, equals 125, like Joseph R. Biden, like Barbie. So, of course, Margot Robbie or Robbie equals 125, and she plays Barbie, right, which equals 125. Just like Joseph R. Biden equals 125. This is a huge number. Remember, Kamala Harris was president for 85 minutes, or she had presidential power for 85 minutes on November 19th, 2021. And what is 85 minutes, guys? 85 minutes is 1 hour and 25 minutes. So it's, again, the 125. So Kamala Harris was president for 1 hour and 25 minutes. And now Barbie, which is giving us complete signs of Kamala Harris, right? Because, again, this article says that the girl who plays President Barbie drew inspiration from Kamala Harris. It's all connected to Kamala Harris with the goddess, because Goddess 73, Harris 73, Joisa, who plays Barbie, President Barbie 73. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys can understand that. It's a lot, but there's a lot of numbers here. But the most important thing here is the 73 and the 125. So let me just talk about this Elvis thing and this connection to Kamala here for a minute, because I want you guys to notice that the phrase, why so serious? And if you replace the serious, remember in the Batman movie, it was a very famous phrase when the Joker said, why so serious? But if you spell it with the name of the dog star Sirius, you're going to get 185, kind of like Donald John Trump equals 185. But you're also going to get 59, like Elvis Presley. And I already connected Sirius to Elvis Presley before. And look at this, President Kamala, also 59. Now, Elvis Presley's daughter died this year. Let me go back to that. Elvis Presley's daughter, right, Lisa Marie, died this year on January 12th. This just happens to be the same day that this Joisa, who plays President Barbie, she was born on January 12th, and Elvis Presley's daughter died this year on January 12th. Now, why is this important? Because the phrase, why so serious, equals 112, just like Kamala Harris equals 112. So Elvis's daughter dies on 112. The girl who plays President Barbie in the Barbie movie was born on 112, and Kamala Harris equals 112. So, very interesting. Also, I should also mention that Elvis's daughter, who died this year, has a song called "Lights Out," which is interesting. So his daughter died on 112, and she has a song called "Lights Out," which equals 112 again. So I don't know, maybe something with blackouts coming up, or maybe it's later, I don't know, but this 112 seems to be an important number with this riddle. Anyways, I think I'm done sharing most of my information. Let me jump into the chat again. Is there anyone that has anything to add? Let's see here. Kevin says 37 is the 12th prime. Right. There's something very interesting about the numbers 37 and 73. Mainly because 37 is the 12th prime and 73 is the 21st prime. So regardless of how you look at it, 73 and 37 are the reverse. And their primes, 12 and 21, are also reversed. So the relationship between 12 and 21 is very important. Hey, Rick. Rick's in the chat. Welcome, Rick. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for sharing. Also, guys, it looks like Square Peg's in the chat. So go check out her channel, Square Peg Divergent, if you guys don't already know. Welcome, Square Peg. Nice to see you. Square Peg says she's tired. Yes, I'm also a bit tired. It's early morning here. But I like I said, last night the internet was going out on me, so I decided to wake up in the morning and share this information with you guys. I don't think I'm going to have anyone come live on with me right now because my girlfriend's sleeping in the other room. I don't want to be making this too long and too loud. But if anyone's in the chat that wants to share anything else, please let me know. Yeah, I'll stay on here for about five or 10 more minutes, and we'll just chat it out here in the chat. But yeah, guys, I'm just going over this all again. The lion, the lioness, the Venus. If you guys missed all the information I just shared, please go back and just watch the from the beginning. Okay, Sean says in the chat that this the Denver Nuggets win was a huge connection to Sirius. Yeah, I have to go back and look at that. But yeah, they had the Denver Nuggets of the NBA won the NBA championship in June, and they had a player named the Joker. And what does Joker equal? If I can type out here, guys, I'm a horrible typer. If you guys haven't realized, Joker equals 23 and 59. Kind of like the date numerology of 88 is 23 and 59. And again, this 59 goes back to Sirius, which Sirius equals 95. And you know what? This is the time I miss Rambo. If you guys know Rambo from the Truth Codes, he had so much good information about Sirius. And I wanted to go back and look up his info that I wanted to add to this. But again, he deleted his channel. So that kind of sucks. But, you know, he had so many good videos about Sirius. Also, guys, Square Peg says she worked all afternoon for her live. Oh, that's why she's tired. Okay, well, get a good rest. I know it's late there. Kevin says, what happened to Rambo? Did he get scared off? I don't know what happened exactly. I hope everything's okay with him. It just seems like a lot of work to get rid of all that work that he put out. Jokic was born in 95. Okay, thanks for sharing that, Sean. Interesting. Like Sirius equals 95. Yeah, like again, guys, these two numbers, 95 and 59 and 23, are going hand in hand. And if you guys watched my 23 decode, it was all about the numbers 23, 95, and 59. And Square Peg even said that the years 1959 is connected with 2023. Rick James says 105 degrees in Vegas at 8:16. Oh, okay. Are you in Vegas, Rick? I didn't know you were in Vegas. Neo the hacker might come back. Oh, really? Well, hopefully he comes back too. Hopefully a lot of people come back. I know I'm not going anywhere. I might take some time off every once in a while, but I'm definitely not going to delete my channel unless YouTube deletes it themselves. Oh, okay, Rick, you're in Las Vegas. Do you remember the information that Rambo shared about how Vegas is super tied to Sirius? And remember that Super Bowl is being held in Vegas this year. And the Super Bowl, I just remember that Rambo shared that there was like a road in Vegas that's like 95, like Sirius equals 95. And then also, isn't Sirius XM radio based in Las Vegas also? And of course, Elvis is tied to this because, Las Vegas is known as the Elvis city, essentially. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of Elvis impersonators in Vegas, right? They also have the Elvis weddings. That's why I believe Elvis is super tied to Sirius. Yeah, so Sean says that the finals ended 8 months and 8 days before his next birthday. He's talking about the Joker Djokovic. Or Jokic. Wow, interesting. 88 days before 8-8. This is crazy. I mean, I have to look into that. Hold on. So you're telling me that the finals ended, the NBA finals ended 88 days before 8-8? Okay. When did the finals end, Sean? Can you let me know the date? Square Peg says, I see that you got a buy me a coffee. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, I forgot to mention. On the top of my pinned post, I have a link to my buy me a coffee account if you guys would like to support the channel. Maybe help me get a new computer at some point because I really would like to do better streams because my computer's absolute, crap at this point. So anyways, guys, the link is in the top of the chat to pinned. And if you guys would like to support the channel, you can go donate whatever you'd like. I also have subscription set up in case you'd like to subscribe. Yeah, I thought June 12th was the last day of the NBA Finals. But it's 57 days before 8-8, which is interesting because 57 is the birth number. Yeah, Kevin just said that. 57 is the big feminine number, right? Right? Because birth equals 57, mother of Jesus 57, birth ritual 57. We just had Super Bowl 57. Okay, Sean says that he got it wrong, but he says that the Golden State Warriors, like the Golden Gate Bridge, right, were eliminated 88 days before 8-8. Okay. Rick James says, yeah, Rick James says that Route 91 intersects with Highway 95 on the 36th parallel in Vegas, Sin City. What does Sin City equal? I don't even know. Oh, well, Sin City equals 36. Like Rick James just said that Interstate or 95, Highway 95 intersects with Route 91 at the 36th parallel. Interesting. Also has that 99 like Jupiter. Yeah, so anyways, guys, this 8-8 date leading into the 8-9 date, right, is very interesting. There's a lot I could say about the 8-9. I've talked a lot about that date, but I'm not going to go over that more here. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share, guys. I went over the Heliacal Rising. I went over Berlin's Lioness on the Loose. What a story, guys. What a story. A lioness on the loose, and it turns out to be a wild boar. I mean, just what a joke, guys. It's obviously symbolic. And of course, it happens in Germany, where I'm at currently. And of course, you got the goddess, Indian goddess, riding the lion. And you have the Detroit Lions opening up the season against the Commander-in-Chiefs. Oh, and I just wanted to go over this article because Kamala Harris's connection to the lion is not just that. It's also there was a YouTuber named Lily Singh who did a video about Kamala Harris when she became vice president, and she sang the Lion King song. And I don't remember what Lion King equals, but let me look that up. Okay, the Lion King, or you could just do Lion King, but the Lion King equals 173, which is very interesting because I just talked a lot about the 173 a few videos ago in connection with Judgment Day and Joe Biden. Also has the 56. We all know how big that is with Washington, D.C., 56, Society of Jesus, 56, Mind Control, 56. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, my gosh. Lion King, 125. The Joe Biden number. Joseph R. Biden, 125. His phrase, finish the job, 125. Kamala Harris had presidential power for an hour and 25 minutes. And remember, guys, the number 125 is big because it's 555. 5 times 5 times 5. So, of course, Lion King equals 125. And we're going to go back to this article, which was talking about Kamala Harris. This YouTuber sang the Lion King song and said and was talking about Kamala Harris. This was a story back in 2020. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because that's another connection to the lion and Kamala. And once again, we have Kamala being Venus, being ruled by Venus, right? And if you guys missed all this, just go back and watch. It's very interesting. Venus is in retrograde until September 3rd. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go to the chat for another minute here. See if there's any final thoughts in the chat. Once again, I want to thank all of you for coming by. Kevin, Rick, Square Peg, Sean, all of my normal homies in the chat. I appreciate all of you. Alice, Bruno. Sean says that Venus will complete a full Venus pentagram point on 8/13. Okay, interesting. 8/13, like 138, like the Phoenix event that's talked about by Jason from Archaics. I mean, August just looks like such an interesting time. I don't know what's going to come out of all this, but on my next video, I'm going to also share something I found in the new Flash movie, the movie The Flash, which is all about power outage, in my opinion, because he's got the lightning bolt. That could also be tied to Lucifer, right? Falling like lightning. Satan falls like lightning. But this movie, The Flash, I watched it, and they give us a date in that movie. And the date that they say that he gets struck by lightning and gets his powers is 9/29. So if anyone wants to look into the date, September 29th, I've already looked into it a lot myself, but there might be more to find there. And it's in connection with the Flash movie that came out on June 16th. Because in that movie, they say that the Flash gets his powers on 9/29. And 9/29 is super connected to Jupiter. And there's a bunch I can share, but I'll probably just do a post on that or something, or maybe a video. Okay, Sean says that August 13th can be written 138, and Venus to Earth ratio is 1 to 13 to 8, like 138. Perfect. Good info, Sean. And of course, we know that Donald Trump also equals 138. You know, if something doesn't happen with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden around this time in August, something definitely looks like it's tied to Trump as well. I might do a video about Trump on August 4th because he is in Montgomery, Alabama. And Montgomery, Alabama has a match to Trump, and it's interesting there. I definitely have to do a video or something about Trump and August as well. Talk more about Donald Trump. Yeah, and Square Peg Diversion's been talking a lot about August 3rd as well. So yeah, definitely interesting. All of August looks interesting to me. Okay, anyways, guys, thanks for sharing all of your great info. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Square Peg. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, X Struble. Um, the next live stream, hopefully I can bring some people on live with me again. This live stream I just didn't want to because it's early morning here. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys. If you guys like to support the channel, just give me a thumbs up before you leave, please. And like always, share your information in the comments if you guys find anything. And I will always look into. I usually try to always get through all the information that people share, but sometimes I miss some stuff. Anyways, take care out there, guys. I will let you know when the next live stream is going to be, hopefully in the next couple days or so. Once again, go check out Square Peg's channel. Thank you, everyone, for sharing and commenting and joining me here this morning or this evening, wherever you are. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.